Well, it just feels like the Phillies' bad offseason continues anytime Dave Dombrowski opens his mouth, which, for the love of God, stop doing it, my guy. Please. Please stop talking. Because it just gets more and more frustrating. The latest interview that he did with the media, he announces that Zack Wheeler will not be ready for opening day. They hope to have him, blah, 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 blah. And look, we knew this was a possibility when Zack Wheeler went down with blood clots and the thoracic outlet situation and all of that, and he had surgery. We knew that maybe he would miss opening day. But the Phillies have put themselves in a position where their rotation is just flat out not good enough. And I initially, when the offseason was coming around and, we got in the full swing of things and the Phillies weren't really making moves, but the moves that they were making, they were bringing people back, like Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto. You knew that those guys were going to come back. It's like, okay, well, it's not as bad as people think. And then when you really sit down and think about it, I came around to everybody else's line of thinking, which is this has been a horrible offseason because the Phillies got worse. Like, the Phillies got worse. Now, you think about some of the moves that they made, or some of the moves, I should say, they didn't make. You bring in Adolis Garcia for $10 million. I like the move. I talked about it when it happened. I like the upside of it, okay? But the fact is, Dave Dombrowski had struggled with the high upside move. Max Kepler was the exact same situation. 1 year, $10 million. He was supposed to be a reclamation project. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. He has struggled to find that diamond in the rough outfielder for a few years now. He's been okay with like the relief pitchers, but when it comes to the low end signing, like the bargain bin signing, he has struggled. So while I like the move, okay, so then I bring up the idea of like, why don't you just keep Nick Castellanos? I had Bob Cooney on. You can find that interview. I'll put a tab up there for that one, it's a really good interview. And Bob, who was in the locker room, is like, that ain't happening. Like, the way that he conducted himself, there's no way to bring him back. But Dave Dombrowski being so outward about having to move on from him, he loses any leverage whatsoever. Now, you could also make the case of like, does it even matter? Because all of baseball knew that there probably had to be a, quote, change of scenery there. But I think it does. When you keep reiterating, like, we're trying to trade him, now you're looking at a situation where we're 2 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting, and you might just have to flat out release him. Okay, fine. Right field's not looking great. Defensively, I guess it got better with Adolis Garcia, and if he ends up turning back into a 30 home run guy, then it looks phenomenal. Harrison Bader ends up going to San Francisco. While I like the move for the long-term gain because you end up getting Justin Crawford in there, who is a former first-round pick, a top prospect. I think he's got 45 stolen base potential. I think he gets on base at an extremely high rate. I think that will continue in the major leagues. The fact is he doesn't have a lot of power and he doesn't have a lot of experience. So for the short term, you're probably getting worse at center field because Harrison Bader is a legitimate Major League Baseball player. But I like that move. But if you want to tell me that they got worse, I can't really argue with you because you're going with a rookie, okay? And then the big one was the Ranger Suarez move, which I hate so much. And I have hated it since the moment that Penn hit paper with Aaron Nola. Because when Penn hit paper with Aaron Nola's contract, that was the moment the Phillies decided we are going with Aaron Nola. We are not going with Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez ends up getting a 5-year deal from Boston. It's ironic because Aaron Nola has 5 years left. I guess time will tell about who ended up getting the better of that. They're getting paid around the same amount of money, but it just feels like the Phillies got worse. I don't know how you make the case that the Phillies got better. And Dave Dombrowski and Preston Mattingly will try to, piss on your leg and tell you it's raining by, we have gotten better and we have faith in this and faith in that. Stop. I'm just going to stop you right there. You didn't. You were a really, really good baseball team last year. You lost to the eventual World Series champions, the defending World Series champions. There's nothing to be ashamed of that. I've always hated the best of 5 for this reason, but without Zack Wheeler, it would have been a tough sledding anyway. But look, you had 90-something wins. Like, you're a good baseball team. I'm not trying to take that away from you. But also, when you look at it, you got worse. And now, with this news about Zack Wheeler, the Phillies find themselves in a position where they desperately need to add starting pitching. And there's tons out there, but I have a fear that they won't go after any of them. None. Right now, as it currently sits, you've got Christopher Sanchez, you've got Aaron Nola, you've got Jesus Luzardo, who, by the way, is entering the last year of his contract. You've got Taijuan Walker, and okay, give it to Andrew Painter. Did he deserve it? Not really. He didn't pitch all that great in AAA, but what else are you going to do? I'd rather have Andrew Painter in there than a bullpen game every fifth day. So they're in a position where they probably need to add a legitimate major league starting pitcher, and they need to do it quick. Because what I have a fear of is that this injury with Zack Wheeler lingers all season. And I have that fear because it's Philadelphia. It just kind of happens to us, Just seems like that's a normal thing. What can go wrong will go wrong. So with this situation, you've got one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's not going to make opening day. I think we could all foresee a situation where, they give you a timeline of he should be ready, second week of April. And then second week in April, we're going to reevaluate. And then he doesn't actually end up pitching till, mid-May. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. But you're missing one of the best pitchers in baseball. Your rotation is not very good. You've got a Cy Young contender in Christopher Sanchez. And then after that, it is helter-skelter. Because Jesus Luzardo started this year off last year as a Cy Young contender. He was pitching that well. And then, June hit? July hit? His ERA was 5. I mean, it was... Oh, God, I can't believe I just did that. But, yeah, no, it was, up and down. That was my point. I wasn't doing the whole... I wasn't reverse the numbers. I'm not even saying it. Hit thumbs down for that. Aaron Nola had the worst season of his major league career. Taijuan Walker was actually pretty solid considering the fact that he was signed to be a number 4 or 5, and he pitched like that. But what are the odds he does that again? And then, as I said, Andrew Painter struggled in AAA. The idea that he's going to get better with tougher competition, hard to believe you're going to deal with growing pains there. So when you look at their current rotation, you've got 4 out of the 5 pitchers who you have no idea what you're getting from them. Not a damn clue. I don't feel comfortable with that. Not at all. And when you look at the free agents out there, there's a lot of big names. You've got Jordan Montgomery, Chris Bassett, Lucas Giolito, Miles Mikolas, Frankie Montes, Max Scherzer, Zach Gallen, local guy you could bring back, Tyler Anderson. There are name recognition guys. You could even bring back, and I have no problem if they brought back Walker Buehler. He would be the cheap option if they brought him back and they decided, okay, we're going to give you a quote minor league deal. And that's the problem. The Phillies right now are in a situation where they're going to be going after minor league deals, invites to spring training, and the hope that one of their guys, I think, will end up solidifying himself in a rotation. But they've struggled in that aspect a lot of times. We all remember Cody Allard. No. I don't need another Cody Allard personally, but that's what Dave Dombrowski his MO seems to be, is these reclamation projects, these former top guys in organizations who didn't really hit their potential with that organization, but hey, maybe I can get something out of it. And so far they haven't. Now I have the utmost confidence in Caleb Cotham because he, I think, is one of the best pitching coaches in all of baseball. The job that he has done with some of these guys has been extremely impressive, including Ranger Suarez, including Christopher Sanchez. And I have faith that, with a year of under Caleb Cotham, it could do Andrew Painter a lot of good. But even if Andrew Painter goes out there and he pitches really well, what's his pitch count? You know what I mean? They're gonna probably coddle him. So I'm worried. The Phillies need to go out there and they need to address the pitching immediately because it just seems like they're being a little bit Philadelphia Eagles-ish, where they're convincing themselves because they had success last year. And remember, last year's success was only the regular season. That it will just carry over. Because, we brought back a lot of the same guys. It's you did in a way, but also you didn't. And the big thing is that rotation. And when you let your second, third best guy go in Ranger Suarez, who are you replacing him with? Especially with this new news. What would you do out there? Would you just kind of wait it out, which seems like Dave Dombrowski's MO is going to be just to wait it out and have someone blink and be like, I'll take it? Because there's no doubt in my mind. He's got contract offers out there to people. But I think what's going to hurt them is the fact that if you're a Zach Gallen and you're looking for a 1-year deal, are you going to be going into camp wanting to contend with Taijuan Walker and Andrew Painter, the golden child? There's a chance that you're promised a job and then the organization decides, no, we need Andrew Painter in there, and then you're bumped to the bullpen. And if you're signing a 1-year deal, you don't want that. So if you're a veteran pitcher, you're looking for a guarantee that you will be in the rotation. And right now, while I think the Phillies should be able to offer that, they probably won't. Because when Zack Wheeler comes back, what do you do? if hypothetically speaking, this is your rotation and you have Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Aaron Nola, Taijuan Walker, and Andrew Painter, and that's what you start out with. Well, let's say you add a Zach Gallen in there for a 1-year deal, and it bumps Andrew Painter back to AAA, which he probably should be. It bumps Taijuan Walker to the 5th starter spot, and then when Zack Wheeler comes back, Taijuan Walker ends up getting bumped down to the bullpen as a long man. I think that would benefit everybody. Like, I think that'd be pretty good. But the Phillies can't guarantee that, and that's the problem. That's the problem they find themselves in. It just feels like this has been the offseason from hell. And it feels like it's going to be the offseason from hell for the Phillies. Now, as a part of the video, I ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel. Hit thumbs up if you like this. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked. Let me know in the comment section what you guys would do with the rotation. As far as comments, I'm probably going to only answer channel members. So support the channel by becoming a channel member. It would help. And then, yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Nope. Yeah, that's it. All right, go Phillies.